Have you ever walked away from someone and, despite all the pain, felt like they were the one letting go too easily? But what if I told you that wasn't the whole truth? What if I told you that he let you go not because it was over, but because he was too broken to admit how much you meant to him? The angels are whispering today, and their message is clear: his silence was never peace. It was a storm, one he's been trying to hide since the moment you walked away. You thought he had moved on. You thought he accepted the ending. But what you couldn't see was what began inside him when you turned your back. A part of him shattered. In front of others, he may have laughed, kept his composure, and acted like losing you was just another chapter closing. But inside, his soul has been screaming your name. Your absence was like pulling sunlight from a flower. Suddenly, his world turned cold. He didn't want to admit it then, but the lie he told himself, that he didn't need you, is tearing him apart now. The angels saw the moment his heart cracked. They saw him pick up his phone 100 times to message you, only to put it down again. They saw him replay memories late at night when he couldn't sleep, whispering your name into the silence, hoping the universe might carry it back to you. Because the truth is, the day he let you go, something shifted. And he's only now realizing the cost of pretending you didn't matter. You see, it was easier for him to pretend, to lie to himself, to convince everyone, and maybe even you, that it was better this way. That letting you go was a decision, not a wound. That losing you was logical, not heartbreaking. But the angels know better. They show me a man who walks through his days like a ghost, who hears your laughter in places you've never been, who feels phantom touches when he's lying in bed alone. They show me a soul trying to escape a truth that follows him everywhere he goes. He let go of the one thing that ever felt like home, and he doesn't know how to fix it. He believed it was over, but the lie he constructed is falling apart, brick by brick, thought by thought, regret by regret. You were never the ending. You were the turning point. And now, his heart is waking up to everything it tried so hard not to feel. The angels want you to know that this is not your imagination. What you feel, the heaviness, the connection, the sense that something was left unfinished, is real. He feels it too. And it's only just beginning. This is the first crack in the wall he built. The first moment of truth. He let you go, believing it was over. But that belief is unraveling quickly, and the pain of that lie is about to bring him to his knees. He told himself a story that made walking away from you seem like the right choice. A story where letting go would lead to peace, to freedom, to clarity. But the angels reveal something far more painful. The story he crafted was a lie built on fear. And now, he's starting to realize that it's crumbling from within. In the beginning, it felt easier for him to suppress the truth than to face the vulnerability that came with it. He told himself he didn't love you that deeply, that you would be fine without him, that he had to move on for the sake of logic, not love. But love doesn't obey logic. And the angels show me now, his soul is aching from the weight of everything he pretended not to feel. This wasn't just about losing a relationship. This was about losing you. The way you saw him. The way your presence made him feel human, whole, safe. And now that you're gone, the echoes of that presence follow him everywhere. He hears your voice in his dreams, sees your smile in strangers. And still, he's trying to keep the story alive. Still trying to convince himself that letting you go was necessary. But his soul knows better. Because the lie he told himself, this myth that it was for the best, has started to rot from the inside out. He no longer believes it. Not truly. The cracks are too wide now. The silence too loud. The truth too persistent. The angels whisper that he is beginning to feel the consequences of emotional denial. Each time he thinks of reaching out and doesn't, it cuts deeper. Each moment he imagines your life without him, it stings. His heart is beginning to rebel against the script he wrote. That script where you were a chapter, not the central story. That story where he walks away unscathed. It no longer fits the reality of his emotions. And perhaps the most painful part? He realizes now that you were willing to fight for him. You were ready to choose him. And he turned away, thinking time would erase what he didn't want to deal with. But time isn't erasing anything. It's amplifying. It's replaying every word you said with more weight. It's magnifying the last look you gave him before walking away. It's reminding him that he pushed away the very thing he once prayed for. The angels want you to hear this. His soul is in conflict. His mind still tries to justify the past. But his heart, it's breaking with every memory, every what if. Every silent moment where he wishes he had done things differently. You were not a detour in his life. You were the destination he didn't have the courage to arrive at. And now the lie he told himself, that this was over, is starting to unravel in the most painful, undeniable way. The angels are watching closely now because something is shifting. The silence that once shielded him is beginning to crack open. He's starting to feel everything he tried so hard to bury. And it's not just sadness, it's awakening. At first, it began with small things. A scent that reminded him of you in a store aisle. A song that played out of nowhere with lyrics that pierced his heart. Moments he dismissed as coincidence. But the angels knew better. These were signs. Subtle nudges from the universe pulling him back toward the truth, you. What's happening inside him now is more than just regret. It's a stirring of the soul, a realization that the connection he shared with you can't be replaced, copied, or ignored. He tried. The angels saw him try. He distracted himself. He filled his schedule. He dated. He laughed with friends. He convinced himself he was healing. But beneath all that effort, his heart was still tethered to yours. He wakes up at night with thoughts of you. Dreams that start as memories and end in longing. And in the quietest moments, when no one else is around, he allows himself to feel it all. The ache. The longing. The truth. Because your presence in his life wasn't just love, it was light. And without it, everything feels dimmer. The angels whisper that this is his reckoning. That he can no longer run from what you meant to him. That even in his attempt to move on, his soul kept circling back to you. There is no peace in the path he chose, only an echo of what could have been. And now, that echo is getting louder. He's beginning to notice how no one else makes him feel the way you did. How no one listens like you did. Laughs like you did. Looks at him like you did. And with each comparison, the emptiness inside him grows. Because the truth is becoming unavoidable, he let go of something rare. And the universe doesn't offer that kind of magic twice. The angels want you to know, his heart is not at rest. It is restless. Full of unspoken words, unshed tears, unanswered questions. He's replaying everything, over and over again. The last time he saw you. The way your voice softened when you said goodbye. The way you didn't fight to stay, because he gave you no reason to. And that memory haunts him. Because you weren't just someone he loved. You were someone who understood him. The real him. And now, without that mirror, he feels lost. Confused. Like he's walking through life with no compass, no warmth, no home. This awakening is painful. The angels say he's resisting it less now, but it still terrifies him. To admit that he was wrong. To admit that what he thought was closure was actually fear. To confront the depth of what he feels means confronting how deeply he hurt you. But he's beginning to understand. That silence isn't healing. That pretending doesn't mend a broken heart. That avoidance doesn't erase love, it only distorts it. And now he sees that the love he tried to silence is still here. Still alive. Still echoing in every beat of his heart. The angels are showing me something else. He's looking for you. Quietly. Carefully. Checking your social media. Asking about you in roundabout ways. Hoping to catch a glimpse of your life. To see if there's still space for him in it. He wonders if you miss him. If you ever think about what the two of you could have been. If you still believe in the love that once connected you like gravity. And these questions are no longer fleeting. They're constant. Daily. They follow him like shadows, whispering truths he can no longer deny. There's a part of him, buried under fear and pride, that wants to reach out. That wants to say everything he couldn't say before. That wants to tell you the truth, that letting you go was never about peace. It was about fear. And now, that fear is the very thing keeping him stuck in a life that doesn't feel like his anymore. He wonders if you would even listen. If your heart is still open. If he still has time to make things right. And the angels, they say yes. They say that this journey, this painful, slow awakening, is leading him back to the truth. And the truth is you. He's beginning to realize that the silence between the two of you isn't empty. It's full. Full of energy. Full of tension. Full of unspoken feelings and unfinished love. And now, that love is rising again. Stronger. Louder. More undeniable than ever before. He can feel you in his soul. Like a pull. Like a calling. And the more he tries to resist, the more it burns. He is awakening to the love he thought he could bury. And the angels are preparing for the moment when he'll no longer be able to hold it back. There comes a moment in every soul's journey when they must face the truth they've been running from. And for him, that moment is now. The lie that he could forget you, move on from you, erase the chapters you shared, it's dissolving. And in its place, a flood of regret has taken over. He didn't think it would feel like this. He thought time would fade you. He thought distractions would dilute your memory. He believed that if he pushed you away hard enough, the ache would stop. But the ache didn't stop, it grew. And now, it's consuming him in ways he never expected. The angels are showing me visions of him walking through life on autopilot. Smiling without joy. Engaging without presence. And always thinking about you. Not just in wistful moments, but in the details. He remembers the way your hand felt in his. The sound of your laugh when you were truly happy. The look in your eyes when you believed in him. And that, more than anything else, is what breaks him. Because you believed in him. When he doubted himself. When he didn't feel worthy. When life had worn him down. You saw the best in him. You gave him love unconditionally. And instead of accepting it with grace, he rejected it out of fear. Fear of not being enough. Fear of losing himself. Fear of the vulnerability that true love demands. Now he sits with that fear, but it's no longer a wall, it's a mirror. One that shows him exactly what he lost. And the reflection is difficult to face. Because he sees a man who was loved deeply, and didn't know how to hold on to it. The angels are whispering something powerful, that this regret is not punishment, it's awakening. That every pang of sorrow is clearing space for truth. That every tear he sheds now is watering the seeds of courage to come back to you. He's remembering every moment when he could have chosen you and didn't. Every time you needed reassurance and he stayed silent. Every time you reached for connection and he turned away. And now, he wishes for just one more chance to respond differently. There is something sacred in this kind of regret, not the kind that keeps you stuck, but the kind that transforms you. And that's what's happening now. He is changing. Not because time has passed, but because love never left. It stayed. It followed him. It whispered in his dreams. It lived in his chest like a quiet prayer. And now, it's louder than his pride. Louder than his fear. Loud enough to shake the very foundation of the man he thought he was. He's realizing that he didn't lose you because you stopped loving him. He lost you because he couldn't face how much he loved you. And now without you, he understands what love actually means. It's not about grand gestures or perfect timing. It's about choosing someone every day. It's about fighting for them even when it's inconvenient. It's about being brave enough to say, I was wrong. Please come back. The angels say he's not quite ready to say those words yet, but he's getting close. Every day, the weight of silence presses harder on his chest. Every day, the memories become more vivid. Every day, he becomes more certain that he made the greatest mistake of his life. And if you felt a sudden wave of sadness lately, a strange heaviness that doesn't seem to belong to you, the angels say it's because his soul is calling yours. Not with words, but with feeling, with yearning, with the silent scream of someone who finally understands what he lost. And that understanding is changing him. The pride is melting. The defenses are weakening. The stories he told himself are crumbling. And underneath all of it is a man who just wants another chance. To love you better. To show up this time. To finally be what you always saw in him. The angels want you to know, this regret isn't the end. It's the bridge. And he's already halfway across it. This is the moment the angels have been guiding you toward. The moment when everything that's been hidden begins to rise to the surface. He let you go, believing it was over. But now, that belief is unraveling. And the truth he tried to bury is demanding to be heard. He's no longer able to pretend. The lie is too loud. The longing is too strong. And the angels say he's reaching the edge of pride, of silence, of fear. What comes next will depend on one thing: courage. And he's closer than ever to choosing it. In the quiet of his own mind, he's been rehearsing the words. Not the perfect ones. There are none. Just the honest ones. I was wrong. I wasn't ready. I thought I could forget you, but I never did. These words circle in his thoughts daily, waiting for the moment his heart is strong enough to let them out. The angels say his soul is preparing for a confession. One that could shift everything. Because what's coming is not just an apology, it's a reckoning. A return. A moment of full circle truth. He is about to face you. Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow. But the energy is aligning. The path is clearing. And deep within, he's starting to understand that real love doesn't end, it transforms. The time apart wasn't wasted. The angels say it was necessary. He needed to see his reflection without you in it. He needed to understand the cost of emotional avoidance. And now he knows. You were the light he walked away from. And now, all he wants is to find his way back. But what about you? That's the question the angels are asking now. As he prepares to return, they're gently inviting you to check in with your heart. To ask yourself, what do I need right now? What do I deserve? What would it take for me to feel safe and seen again? This isn't about going back. It's about moving forward, with clarity, strength, and self-love. The angels are preparing you for a conversation. One that may begin with hesitation but will end in truth. And whether it's the start of something new or the closure you've needed, it will set your soul free. They want you to know that you are not required to carry the weight of the past. That forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. That love, real love, is not about rescuing someone, but meeting them where they are, with mutual intention. He is changing. That part is real. But so are you. You've grown. You've healed. You've learned how to choose yourself in ways you hadn't before. And now, the angels say this next chapter is about choosing from wisdom, not wounds. If he returns, it will be because he's finally aligned with the man you saw inside him all along. And if you choose to let him back in, it will be because your soul says yes, not out of loneliness, not from longing, but because you both have done the work that love truly requires. The angels are wrapping you in light now, preparing you for what's to come. There is nothing random about this journey. There never was. He let you go thinking it was over. But love was never truly finished with you. Not even close. Because what is inscribed in soul energy cannot be erased by time or silence. And now, as the veil lifts and the truth reveals itself, the universe prepares to unite two hearts, not as they were, but as they are now. Whole. Awake. And ready. This is not the end. This is the beginning you never anticipated, but the angels always did.